Hello everyone, welcome to D4Drupal channel. Today we are going to see about how to use two-factor authentication in Drupal site. So two-factor authentication will help you to authenticate a user when they log in. So normally they will get OTP, so they can use email OTP or Google Authenticator or normal message, whatever they want, they can get and they can use those code in the Drupal site and they can log in without any problem. So this will help us to increase the security. And here I'm using a TFA module to do the two-factor authentication. And this module has dependent of key and encrypt module. And these two modules will help you to encrypt the code, whatever you are getting in the email, and that will be stored in the database for validation. And then, so real AES, this is the module I'm using, and it is a encryption method, like, and this will be as a plugin. So this is the method we are using for encrypting, and this is the dependency for encrypt module. And then I'm using email OTP here. So we will get the OTP in the email. So this is the module I'm using for email OTP. And I already installed all this module in the Drupal site. So you go to the extend here, EFA. So two-factor authentication and for email, everything is enabled and encrypt is enabled. For encrypt, we are using real AES method. So that is also enabled. And then key, that module is also enabled. So I enabled all this module in the Drupal side. After that, first you have to create the key. So for that, you have to go to system, configuration system keys. I already created a key. I will show you what I have configured. So here you have to give the key name. I just given as a TFA key, a description for that, and what are we going to do? And we are going to do the key type is encryption. We are going to do the encryption and size you have to give 256. So if you want to store key in the configuration, you just have to enable this. So this is the key provider setting. So stores key in the Drupal configuration system. And next here you have to generate the key. So to generate the key, you need to run a command like, so this is the command you have to run in the PowerShell. So you will get the key. So this is how I get one key and I added that in the configuration and that's it. This is how you how to create the key. And next one is encrypt profile. So I will add that command in the description. If you want, you can go and check it. So I just given label as encrypt profile, and here the method what we going to use. So I enable the real AES model, so that is coming here. So this is the method I'm going to use for encryption, and the key which we created now, TFA key, I just configured it, and that's it. Now we configured key and encrypt profile, and next you have to go to people and then two-factor authentication. So this is the common configuration. First, I'm enabling two-factor authentication here and roles required to set up the TFA. So normally admin will set up the TFA. So if you enable this feature, so a normal authenticated user itself be able to do the setup for their login authentication. So two-factor authentication, you can enable like when you have GitHub account, you can enable TFA authentication, right? Two-factor authentication for your GitHub account. So that is how it will be. So when you enable these options, automatically the user will have access to enable two-factor authentication for them. So if you check it, they will get the access, but that alone is not enough. they should have a permission also here. So this permission should be there. Set up TFA for account. Allow users to set up. This also should be checked, and this also should be checked. Then only that will work. And allow the TFA bypass during password reset. So normally you will get TFA when you do user slash login. When you request for reset password, if you want to bypass, you can bypass by these settings, but this will work here only for admin, not for all the users. We don't have option to disable TFA for password reset page when it comes to normal authenticated user or any other user. This will work only for the admin. And next is what kind of validation plugin we are going to use. So we have enabled a module called TFA email OTP, right? So we are using that plugin here. And you have to select the plugin which we are using default. You can give n number of plugins, whatever you want. But which one is default, you have to select that here. And next is TFA OTP. When you get the OTP in an email, so the valid period for that OTP in minute. So normally you can give 10 minutes. So the OTP will be valid for next 10 minutes. And this is the content for mail. So if you want, you can customize as you wish. And next is encrypt profile, the encrypt profile which we created now. And then skip validation. So we have enabled user to set up their TFA by themselves. So consider there is a user and they are logging into the site first time. So they can log in without TFA. Second time they can log in without TFA. And third time they can log in without TFA module authentication. And fourth time it will not allow because I have given three. So first three times the validation will be skipped, and fourth time they will not be able to log in without the TFA authentication setup. So if you want to keep this, you can keep, or you can even keep 0 here. And once the user is logged in, if you want to redirect them to the TFA setup page, you can enable this option. So they can enable the TFA for their account. And next one is TFA trusted browser. So it will be like when any other plugin allowing the user to log in without any TFA. So if you check it, this will be enabled. So if any other module or any custom module you have written any plugin and that plugin is allowing the user to log in without TFA, so it will bypass it. And then flood settings. Flood settings in the sense, so flood control will be based upon the user here, UID only. And this is the flood window and this is the flood threshold. So flood window, this is in seconds and this is in a count. So seconds in the sense that is 300 seconds, which means it is a uh, 5 minutes. So 5 minutes, 6 threshold, which means when you go to the two-factor authentication page, so first OTP is sent and you are resending the OTP, resending the OTP, resending the OTP. In 5 minutes, you can send only 6 times. You can send the OTP. You cannot send it for the seventh time, eighth time, ninth time. It will not allow. That's a flood control here. And then next, when the TFA is enabled for account, what mail they will get. When TFA is disabled for account, what mail they will get. And that's it. So you just have to save the configuration. And now we are done with the TFA setup. Now I'm going to add a user. User 3, so user 3/8. Okay, so use it. This is what I created now. When you go to edit page, you will be able to see a tab called TFA. You just have to go there and enable the TFA. You have to give the password. Now the TFA is enabled for this account. So let me go to Gmail. You can see your account now is set for two-factor authentication. This is the enabled two-factor authentication name. And now when I try to log in, it will take you to the OTP page where you have to send the OTP. And here you have to send it. By default, it will not triggered automatically. You have to click the send button, then only the OTP will go. So OTP is sent. Now you got a mail for OTP. You just copy and paste it here and verify. So now the account is logged in without any issue. And this is how the DFA module works. And I have done a couple of customization in this module. I will post them in the next video. And that's it about today's video. If you like the video, please share, like, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.